A father has finally been found guilty of killing and disposing of his 9-year-old daughter. What can drive a father to kill his own daughter?
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Mark Mulholland. Sabrina is off tonight. Tonight, the dramatic conclusion to a tragic story we've all been following for more than a year. A jury finds a father guilty of killing his 9-year-old daughter during a vacation through the Lake George area. It took that jury just an hour to find Luciano Fratellin guilty of murdering his daughter, Melina. Reporter Dan Levy is live outside Essex County Courthouse. Dan, it didn't take long.
Less than 1 hour, Mark. You're absolutely right. And you know what? By all accounts, the discovery of a little girl's body at the bottom of a lake in the woods and the subsequent arrest and conviction of the little girl's father a little over a year later isn't just an indication and a result of superb police work. It's also quite a victory and a statement for modern technology. Let's take you back a little over a year. It was July 19th, 2025. That's when Luciano Fratellin and his 9-year-old daughter, Melina, were vacationing in the United States, visiting here from Canada. Fratellin contacted police on July 19th last year, telling them his daughter had been kidnapped by unmasked men in a white van at a Lake George rest area in full view of several potential eyewitnesses. During questioning by police, including the FBI, there was a full court press searching for the little girl, but more importantly, searching for the truth. Using cell phone data and GPS technology, authorities were quickly able to ascertain the route that Fratellin had been traveling. And then 14 hours after Fratellin told investigators about the alleged kidnapping, New York State Forest Rangers walked into a heavily wooded area near Ticonderoga and miraculously found the little girl's body at the bottom of a swamp. And now, 1 year later, that little girl's father has been convicted of that unthinkable crime.
Digital evidence was big in this case. Knowing where he was and knowing he was telling people he was at other places was huge. Shutting his daughter's phone off so his mother couldn't tell where she was big. So the digital evidence in this case made the case. It's the only reason that they found her. She was 40 miles away in the woods under a tree. The fact that they found her was, it was a miracle. And the fact that they found her less than a day is a, tribute to the use of technology in criminal cases. So
I'm wondering
really
if such a conclusion could have been drawn, if an arrest could have been made 5 or 10 years ago, or are we talking about the incredible advance in technology?
No.
Now, let me say something. This is a crazy situation. Now, I am happy that they did their full dive investigation, because when a father calls and saying that his daughter was kidnapped, they didn't just go with his word. They actually looked at where he was, where his cell phone data put him, see if he was actually telling the truth. And that's how they was able to find her. A lot of times people might have just believed the father, not even thought to look at his background to see exactly where he was, if he's telling the whole truth. You have to be one cold monster to kill your 9-year-old daughter. Let's keep going.
And their arrest would not have been made. They would never have found her that far away, that fast. And I don't know if they ever would have found her.
Second-degree murder carries a maximum sentence of 25 years to life in prison. In addition, Fratellin faces an additional 1 1/3 to 4 years, having been found guilty of concealing a corpse. Sentencing for both crimes right back here in this courthouse, October 14th. We're live in Elizabethtown with coverage you can trust. Dan Levy, News Channel 13.
Now, if there was never a life charge, that sounds like a life charge to me. I don't see him needing to be out of prison. Killing your 9-year-old? Yeah, you deserve to be behind bars for the rest of your life. Let's get over to this next one.
We continue to follow breaking news, the verdict against Luciano Fratellin.
That's right. CBS 6's Emma Quinn is live after Fratellin was found guilty of killing his daughter and hiding her body in July of last year. Hi, Emma.
Hi, guys. That's right. So it took jurors about 1 hour to determine and reach that verdict after a 16-day-long trial. 45-year-old Luciano Fratellin learned his fate, guilty on both charges. Now, all 12 jurors found him guilty of second-degree murder and concealing a human corpse. You'll remember this all started in July 2025 when Fratellin reported his daughter Melina had been abducted. An Amber Alert was issued and a frantic search by multiple law enforcement agencies searched for the little girl from Canada. Luciano told investigators he had stopped at a rest area before heading back to Canada, where Melina lived with her mother full-time. It was there at that rest stop on Lake George that he claimed Melina had been abducted. However, inconsistencies in his story and electronic data from cell phones and license plate readers from the rental car painted a different story. Essex County DA Paul Tucker said without that evidence, the case may not have had the same outcome.
The digital evidence in this case made the case. It's the only reason that they found her. She was 40 miles away in the woods under a tree. The fact that they found her was, it was a miracle. And the fact that they found her less than a day is a, tribute to the use of technology in criminal cases.
It's crazy. Less than a day, y'all. That means they immediately had the idea, all right, we have to check his story. We got to immediately think about, all right, he could be lying to us. So let's go ahead and check his story against where he was and see if he's truly telling us the truth. Absolutely crazy.
Prosecutors were not required to prove a motive, but they believed he intentionally killed his daughter, as Fratellin had stated that the co-parenting situation with Melina's mother had become increasingly difficult. Now, Fratellin also claimed that Melina and her mother had struggled with mental illness and that early in 2025 he had planned to end her suffering. Luciano Fratellin will be sentenced here at Essex County Court on October 14th.
Absolutely crazy, y'all. Let's get over into the AI breakdown just to see what else we can find out. You are a truly cold individual. Let's get over into it. So as we know, we got the businessman Luciano, 46, was found guilty of second-degree murder and concealment of a human corpse for a July 2025 drowning of his 9-year-old daughter. Trial took 2 weeks, and they used cell phone data and GPS car logs and a handwritten note from the rental car that contradicted his original story. So security footage captured him and his daughter at a restaurant in Saratoga Springs. She spoke over the phone with her mother around 6:30, stating that they were heading home. Authorities estimated that she was murdered between 7:35 and 9:05. Around 10 p.m., he called 911, where she had been kidnapped, saying that she had been kidnapped from I-87. This triggered the Amber Alert, of course, but during the investigation, it didn't sound like he was telling the truth. So they ended up finding her body 40 miles away. The district attorney noted that digital tracking mapped the vehicle's exact movement directly to the disposal site. Furthermore, police recovered a trash bag filled with his wet, muddy clothes from exit 26 of I-87, incriminating notes found in his trunk, including phrases like, "Don't let Melina suffer anymore." Yo. He did not testify during the trial and remained expressionless as the verdict was read. The judge ordered him to be remanded to the Essex County Jail without bail. His formal sentencing is set for October 14th. So prosecution argued that he intentionally killed her because his co-parenting situation with the mother had become increasingly difficult. He claimed in his personal writings that both the daughter and her mother suffered from severe mental illness. He explicitly wrote that he planned to end her suffering. Whoa, so did he think of this as a mercy killing? Notebook entries found in his rental vehicle trunk laid out the explicit timeline he wrote about the plan to take her to Maine and to end the madness either way. Evidence showed that he was struggling to pay child support and had complained on social media that his daughter disrupted his life, despite presenting a high-flying lifestyle as the head of a Montreal Gabrielle Coffee. Police investigators testified that forensic teams recovered multiple gold-wrapped condoms from his rental car. Two stained pairs of her underwear shoved under the presence of, oh my God. Inside the vehicle, police what? This is crazy. Inside the vehicle, the police recovered an incriminating type document, closure and confessions outlining his thoughts of ending their lives. When he originally gave his false statement to the police, he tried to pin the kidnapping on the mother, telling investigators he wouldn't be surprised if she was involved in the abduction in the first place. He had a memory loss This is crazy. What is this last part? Hold on, because that was too crazy to me to even think about. State police investigators testified that forensic team recovered multiple gold-wrapped condoms in the rental car. Two stained pairs of her underwear, of the daughter's underwear, showed the presence of seminal fluid, and his shorts and shirt stained with the same substance. Yo, I don't know what's happening. Hold on. Investigators found the two stained pairs of her underwear inside the car. Initial screenings flagged potential signs of seminal fluid, prompting further laboratory testing. However, forensic experts ultimately testified that no semen was found in the underwear, and all screenings for seminal fluid came back negative. Whew. I thought I went down the rabbit hole for a second. Okay. So he wasn't that sick of a person, but he killed his 9-year-old daughter, most likely, it sounds like, to end her suffering, or in his sick way to end, in his sick mind, in a way to end her suffering. Now, we have to wait for his sentencing, which happens on October 14th. But how much time do you think he should get? Do you think he should get the full life sentence? It's a crazy situation, y'all, but this is the type of stuff we have to review. Absolutely crazy.